I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot him. The thing is, okay, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking, this time is gonna be different. No, please. This time is gonna be different. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Halo seems to be in a state of perpetual insanity. Over the last decade, Halo has looked to follow the biggest trends of other mainstream first-person shooters in the gaming industry over and over again. And you know, who could blame them? Over the course of history, the most brilliant of human minds have stolen their best ideas from other people. Picasso once said, "Good artists borrow and great artists steal." At a game developer conference back in 2016, 343 openly admitted to following the biggest trends in the gaming industry. The problem, however, with Halo following these trends is that these trends are counterintuitive to Halo's core design and consequently its success. The games feel more and more similar to other big first-person shooters. This formula has been rinsed and repeated over and over again, leaving the franchise in a far worse off place than it has ever really been. This is Vaas's idea of insanity. It all started back in 2010, as we all know. Halo reached release, Sprint was introduced. A mechanic that was present in COD, so it could have been blown up at the time. It was really the driving force in the video game market, so Bungie looked to them for inspiration. Big mistake. The introduction of Sprint along with armor abilities caused quite the stir in the Halo community at the time, and to this day it still splits the community right down the middle. Next with Halo 4, custom classes were introduced. This further codified the series, and in Halo 5, advanced movement mechanics such as clamber, stabilize, Spartan charge and ground pound were introduced. These advanced movement mechanics were popularized by games such as Titanfall and, you guessed it, Call of Duty. Halo 5 also followed the microtransaction trend that plagued the industry at the time and even introduced aiming down sights. A clear cycle has developed here, and regardless of how well these trends were actually implemented into the Halo games, it resulted in Halo becoming more and more indistinguishable from other FPS games, and as a result, less Halo-like. Now this has obviously led to a decrease in sales, player populations dropping off faster than my viewer retention, and consequently leading to where we are today. Halo is nowhere near as popular as it once was. It even struggles to break the top 50 on Xbox Game Store. This is not hard, everyone. Despite all of this, Halo Infinite has the potential to bring back the franchise into the cultural zeitgeist. It just needs to pick and choose what it takes from other games very carefully. Now in my opinion, a Battle Royale would be a bad move for Halo. As cool as it would be to drop in an ODST drop pods at the start of the game, other franchises which have been far more successful than Halo in recent years have tried and failed at Battle Royales. I'm looking at you, Battlefield. Just awful. I'm especially against it if it takes up key dev time away from core Halo gamers that need to be on the game on day one, like Forge, Firefight, custom games and theatre, some of which have probably already been cut from the game due to the crunch caused by the pandemic. To be successful, Halo needs to not take things from other games which fundamentally change the way Halo is played, but instead learn the principles and philosophy from the best. This, my friends, is where Doom comes in. What makes Doom so successful in today's saturated gaming market? Well, it's quite simple really. It is unapologetically Doom. Brutally pulsating combat, lots of big guns, demons that have a bigger variety than my ex-girlfriend's mood swings, and perhaps best of all, a killer metal soundtrack. It is fundamentally nothing like anything in today's mainstream FPS market, and it couldn't care less. Doom succeeds where recent Halos have failed because it plays to its own strengths, not to COD's or Titanfall's strengths, but to its own strengths. Now this is how I have come up with the Doom philosophy, which 343 should be taking notes on. The Doom philosophy involves being aware of what the identity of your game is and embracing it. Instead of looking at what the prevailing trends in the industry are, it should instead look at it itself. Doom knows what its strengths are and it focuses on them. What did people like about Doom 2016? It was fast paced. Okay, let's make Doom Eternal insanely fast. Let's add a dash and a double jump. 16 was brutal. Okay, let's make Eternal even more bone crunching, more glory kills, more demons, more ways to kill the demons. There was no point in the development meeting for Doom Eternal where Ed was like, you know, Fortnite seems pretty popular, let's put a battle royale in the game. That'll really get the Doom fans excited. What makes Doom so awesome to play is that it's unique. You can't get that unique Doom feeling anywhere else. I do not want Halo to be like Doom, but think like Doom. Just like Doom, Halo's core gameplay loop is somewhere you cannot get anywhere else. The simplicity of the original trilogy's gameplay is what makes it so reviled and iconic. Almost like a game of FPS chess with each weapon having a role to play in the sandbox. Without overcomplicating its core gameplay, Halo manages to have a sense of methodical simplicity that makes it so engaging to play. Easy to pick up, but difficult to master. If you add all of these additional layers to Halo's core design, like advanced movement, it not only overcomplicates the gameplay, but becomes unrecognisable from its true identity. Pretty strange way to evolve the series really. However, if 343 can internalise the Doom philosophy into the development of Halo Infinite, Halo can rediscover its own greatness and differentiate itself from the competition. Following the Doom philosophy means knowing what Halo's biggest strengths are and embracing them. Sprint has never been one of Halo's biggest strengths, so why have it in Halo Infinite? It's not like first-person shooters in 2020 cannot be successful without Sprint. No sprint will help Halo get back to its true identity, the identity which made it successful in the first place 20 years ago. Okay, so we got no sprint, what next? Halo has always been known for the variety of experiences it brings to the table, so that means Halo Infinite should launch with all of the staple Halo gamers I mentioned previously. Something you might recall that Halo 5 Guardians failed to do, only shipping with the campaign, a bare bones arena and Warzone at launch. I could go on all day about how 343 can embrace Halo's true identity in Infinite through the Doom philosophy, bringing back black undersuits, playable elites, deep armor customization, Halo 3's ranking system, open-ended levels, etc, etc, etc. You get the message. Fortunately, Infinite does seem to be bringing back a more classic art style, albeit one remixed with the modern art style. This might be the first sign that Halo Infinite is returning the series to its roots. One can only hope that 343 have taken its approach when designing their third installment of the Halo franchise. I guess the only thing we can do now is wait and see. Two FPS franchises that are long past their supposed heydays where they dominated the gaming world. Two franchises set in the distant future where the universe has taken a turn for the worse. Most importantly of all, two franchises starring big green space marines that don't take any shit from anyone. Comparisons don't end there. The trajectory of these two franchises' journeys makes for an eerily similar reading. Back in 2005, Doom 3 heavily damaged the series' reputation, leading to a decade-long hiatus. Has a decade of mediocre games compounded by the broken launch of the MCC not done similar damage to Halo's reputation? Yet Doom was able to make a comeback. Fast forward to 2020 and Doom has successfully reinvigorated itself by releasing two excellent games which modernised and evolved the series while staying true to its own identity and not following the prevailing trends of an increasingly homogenised industry. It is impossible to completely destroy the reputation of a game franchise. Battlefront 2 proved as much. It recovered from one of the biggest media storms in gaming history. Through the Doom philosophy, Halo Infinite can return the series to its roots while still feeling modernised and accessible to the audience of the contemporary gaming landscape without sacrificing its own identity.